with the deep state bull. And the bull. We want Trump, the Magador, to kill that goddamn bull! And the bull, kill that goddamn bull!
For the two of you that are still here after that, that was the scene at Trump's latest debate-dodging rally, where they decided to change it up a little bit. And, since the same old talking points about, third world countries because Trump is facing some consequences, stolen elections, and of course, the deep state. It's kind of played out.
This race is not just about beating Crooked Joe. It's about defeating the entire rotten, corrupt, and tyrannical establishment right now that you have in Washington, D.C. Nobody thought would see this. This election will decide whether power in America belongs to them forever or whether it belongs to you, the men and women who make this country great, who make this country run. 2024 is our final battle. Stand with me in the fight. We will finish the job that we started so brilliantly 7 years ago. We never had a country like we had just 3 years ago, the job we did. And we're going to make America great again, greater than ever before. That's what's going to happen.
Since Republicans' agenda tends to turn off most Americans, or simply hurts even the MAGA types that vote against their interests, they're struggling with the trend of electoral losses and disappointing showings since 2020. But they'll never acknowledge that it's their own unpopular positions that are the reason. Instead, they're sticking with the classics like the election was stolen.
Well, I think what yesterday proved was that the voters showed up for Donald Trump and no one else. The down ballot in Kentucky was all Republican, with the one exception of the governor voting Democrat. I thought that's an interesting race that, I don't have any reason one way or another to try to opine on what happened in Kentucky, but it is interesting to me that the entire statewide down ballot, which had about probably 5 other races on it, all went solidly Republican, about 60-40, and yet it flipped on the top of the ticket for the governor, which he was the incumbent, so that's not unheard of. But it's interesting that Republicans would vote for the Democrat at the top of the ticket and then vote Republican all the way down.
That was Trump's former attorney, Christina Bobb, who has a pretty bad track record when it comes to responsible statements about his behavior. Specifically, when she certified to the Justice Department that all the highly classified documents stored at Mar-a-Lago had been returned right before authorities showed up to discover more classified documents stashed away. But next up is Vivek Ramaswamy, who passed on blaming their losses on stolen elections, opting for the second most utilized excuse. The media sucks, not us.
Think about who's moderating this debate. This should be Tucker Carlson, Joe Rogan, and Elon Musk. We'd have 10 times the viewership, asking questions that GOP primary voters actually care about and bringing more people into our party. You think the Democrats, and we've got Kristen Welker here, you think the Democrats would actually hire Greg Gutfeld to host a Democratic debate? They wouldn't do it. And so the fact of the matter is, Kristen, I'm going to use this time because this is actually about you in the media and the corrupt media establishment. Ask you, the Trump-Russia collusion hoax that you pushed on this network for years, was that real or was that Hillary Clinton made up disinformation? Answer the question. Go. We need accountability because this media rigged the 2016 election. They rigged the 2020 election with the Hunter Biden laptop story.
Mr. Ramaswamy,
and they're going to rig this election.
Your time is up.
Accountability.
Let me turn to Governor Christie.
I guess debates aren't about political issues and solutions anymore. They've devolved into an angry finger-pointing exercise to avoid addressing their extremely unpopular positions. But Vivek's speaking rate is so efficient, he found a way to blame both the media and RNC chair Ronna McDaniel, all in one petulant answer.
I think there's something deeper going on in the Republican Party here, and I am upset about what happened last night. We've become a party of losers at the end of the day. There's a cancer in the Republican establishment. Let's speak the truth. Since Ronna McDaniel took over as chairwoman of the RNC in 2017, we have lost 2018, 2020, 2022, no red wave that never came. We got trounced last night in 2023. And I think that we have to have accountability in our party. For that matter, Ron, if you want to come on stage tonight, you want to look the GOP voters in the eye and tell them you resign, I will yield my time to you. And frankly, look, the people there are cheering for losing in the Republican Party.
And like Nikki Haley, Ronna McDaniel slammed Ramaswamy in her response. But this intra-party finger-pointing while also advocating for an agenda that most Americans disagree with, this all just might end in even more chaos and even fewer wins for Republicans.
He's at 4%. He needs a headline. I'm going to say what I've been saying to Republicans all along. Our headline should be about Joe Biden, the border, fentanyl, crime, terrible things that are happening in this country that the American people are looking to our party for solutions. But I also will stand by my record as RNC chair. In 2022, the RNC turned out 4 million more Republicans, and we would have won the Electoral College based on that turnout. Now, we don't do the messaging. That's a fact. We don't do it. And our candidates have lost their messaging on abortion. In Virginia, the Democrats spent $16 million on abortion ads. Republicans did not respond. In Kentucky, Democrats spent millions and millions on abortion ads. They did not respond. Now, the RNC doesn't do state races. We're a federal committee, so we weren't involved in those races on Tuesday. I know Vivek's kind of newer to the party. He voted for Obama, so he may not know that. But this is something we're going to have to get right as a party.